I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are.
If Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather gets made, it does more than Terence Crawford Canelo on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Clip that.
Without a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about, so it's going to be.
Leonard Ellerbe has warned Floyd Mayweather not to fight Manny Pacquiao. He warned that boxing is a brutal sport where one wrong punch can change a fighter's entire future. Ellerbe emphasized that in the later stages of a career, fighters should avoid risky fights and instead focus on securing their earnings and protecting their health. He believes that once a legacy is proven, there's no need to prove anything further, and older fighters should enjoy life rather than chase unnecessary danger.
Do what's best for him. If he feels as though the time is now to walk away, but I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are. And boxing is a brutal, brutal sport. And all it takes is, one punch here, and again, your whole life is completely changed. And the key is to get in this sport and to become successful, meaning fight the best guys that are out there, and then make a lot of money, and then be able to go out and do whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, with being in a position to take care of your family, that's what it's all about.
In a rare public statement, Floyd Mayweather's son made it clear he does not support the idea of his father returning to face Manny Pacquiao in a rematch. While not directly naming Manny, his comments reveal a deep concern for his father's well-being. He appears to believe that Floyd has already done enough in the sport and has nothing left to prove. The suggestion to avoid a second bout comes from a place of personal care rather than competition. It's a stance that highlights how families of retired fighters often carry more concern for their loved one's health than legacy. Manny Pacquiao has openly declared that he's ready for anyone, including Floyd Mayweather, should the opportunity arise.
Scenario where obviously Floyd, who's held the WBC titles many over his career, maybe gets tempted out of retirement for a Manny Pacquiao rematch.
What do you say?
I say he doesn't need to fight again, but I also would definitely come and watch. So I'm sort of like,
You'll come and watch. We have to see what happens Saturday, first of all. Of course, Floyd is legendary, just as Manny. There's no issue there. But you cannot skip. There's various before, and Lance is a great journalist. I think he pulled out a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about, so it's going to be a great fight.
He invited Mayweather to sign the contract if he's serious about stepping out of retirement. Pacquiao's message is clear. He's confident, prepared, and sees unfinished business between the two legends. The call-out reflects his mindset as a fighter, who still believes in his capabilities and wants a second chance to settle the score. With recent performances showing he still has the spark, Manny isn't waiting. He's challenging WBC President Mauricio Sullen, weighed in with a diplomatic perspective.
You gonna fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about that fight a little bit. Being in there with Floyd being in there with you, like what was the experience like being there? In the ring, fighting him finally.
It's good, but despite all those things, but then after the fight, right after the fight, I went to the hospital and got operated. My
Yeah, you got an operation, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you posted a picture of...
Really hurt.
Was he better or worse than you thought he was?
No, that's his style. Like, I knew it. But the thing is, I'm expecting that I won the fight. because he didn't throw a lot of punches. I throw a lot of punches. And I reviewed the compi box, like slow motion from first round to 12 rounds, like how many punches get connected and how many punches of him he connected. You know, that's boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining or making, just it happened that way.
Did
It
you
happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Yeah, that fire never dies, man.
My right hand is complete.
He acknowledged Floyd Mayweather's legendary status and emphasized that the boxing world does not demand another war from him. Yet, he also admitted that if the public continues to clamor for it, then the rematch holds potential. His stance reflects the commercial nature of boxing, where fan interest often shapes reality. While Floyd might not need the fight, the overwhelming demand could be enough to bring it to life. Pacquiao's recent interviews and social media appearances clearly show.
We've seen Manny on the end of bad decisions before. Timothy Bradley, excuse me. Jeff Horn fight, shout out to Tim. I know how you feel about that. Family. But this is what he's got to deal with. You can't go through a camp, do what you just did right there. We saw all the heart, everything that we've always seen from Manny, and this is the result. Shout out to Mario. He made the fight difficult just from being a big guy who is a better boxer than I realized, came to the ring with a true game plan to try to box and be patient, find openings and things of that nature. I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw. I think that there was a lot more that he could have done. But the main thing is the style that he chose to box was actually a good style to use against Manny Pacquiao. They were saying that they were going to come right to the middle of the ring, and they did. But they came to the middle of the ring, and then they circled, they moved, they worked behind the jab. Not enough jabs, not enough of everything for Mario, so I really don't agree with the draw. All that said, y'all know I got to say the rest. Y'all know I got to say the rest.
Well, let me ask
One
you
more?
this. Should Manny fight younger guys still? Like, should he fight a Tank? Should he fight a Rolly? Or should he rematch Floyd?
I don't think y'all want to see him with Floyd. Do y'all? I don't know. I'm feeling like the world, because it's Manny Pacquiao, it makes sense for it to be Floyd Mayweather. But I don't know. I thought yesterday.
His strong interest in revisiting the ring with Floyd. He carries the belief that he could win the rematch and rewrite history. His confidence stems from the way he's performed recently, especially in the Barrios fight. Manny seems driven by a sense of unfinished business and believes that a second clash would not only correct past mistakes, but also elevate his legacy. His tone has shifted from speculative to determined. Boxing analyst Chris Algieri offered a neutral and thoughtful perspective on the rematch speculation.
Than Manny Pacquiao. I always get this question. If you know me, you know my answer. Floyd is not greater than Pacquiao, and Pacquiao has him beat by a really good margin, in my opinion. Let's talk about it. If your argument is Floyd beat Pacquiao, throw it out the window. Every single boxer in history has lost damn near. That's like saying Buster Douglas is greater than Mike Tyson. If your argument is Manny lost in his career and Floyd didn't, I would disagree with that type of logic, but if that's the case, you got to put all the undefeated fighters at the top. Bud, Inoue, Usyk, Kazagi, all those guys should be in your top 5. I like Floyd. I like Floyd a little bit more than Manny. I'm not going to lie. Manny's a bit chaotic at times. I don't like that. I like sweet, smooth-looking boxing. But let's speak objectively here. If we're talking about in terms of career, whose career will be more harder to replicate is going to be Manny Pacquiao, and it's by a really good margin. Now, Floyd's most impressive feats, you look at him, he's a, 5 division champion. He's beaten 23 world champions. He's been in how many title fights? Floyd has an amazing career. And I'm not saying that it can be done. It probably will never be done again. But I could see somebody doing that before they do what Manny did. And that's why I have Manny as the greatest boxer of all time. Just not based off ability. When you look at the guys that Manny beat, the reason why he got the 2000s Fighter of the Decade over Floyd Mayweather, the reason why he got Fighter of the Year 3 years in a row, almost 4 years in a row. Yes, Manny lost. Manny fought more world champions than Floyd, though. We don't speak on that. Then you get into the 8 weight division. These are only the 8 he won titles in. Manny Pacquiao fought through, I want to say, 10 or 11 different weight divisions. If you want to speak on the lineal titles, I want to say he holds the most lineals of all time with like 5 or 6. Youngest lineal flyweight, oldest welterweight champion. It's insane. That the youngest lineal fly is also the oldest welterweight champion. I like Floyd. Floyd's my number 2 all time. This isn't a diss to Floyd, but Manny, I believe objectively, is the greatest fighter above Ali, above Floyd, above Duran, above Leonard, above everybody. I think he has a career that is absolutely impossible to replicate. When Floyd was picking on guys like Andre Berto and Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao beat the undefeated young active champion and Keith Thurman to join the pound for pound at 40 years of age while being a senator. He's the greatest boxer of all.
He pointed out that while the fight isn't guaranteed, it's certainly not impossible. According to Algieri, Manny's recent showing against Barrios has reignited interest among fans. He highlighted that despite the endless speculation, it's Pacquiao who ultimately holds the keys to this rematch. His conditioning, hunger, and willingness may be enough to lure Floyd into one more battle. Algieri's commentary gives credibility to what many see as inevitable. Before Pacquiao fought Mario Barrios, there were already whispers across the boxing.
So, obviously I'm a Manny fan, but I'm going to try and keep it non-biased as possible. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Both had moments, but I think overall Manny did more. I think his punches were more effective. More active, so even on top of that, just the ability for him to go the 12 rounds and do what he was able to do, but be more active every single round. I feel like Barrios picked it up the last few rounds, but I still don't believe that was enough. Manny started fast and he sustained pretty much, kind of let his foot off the gas towards the end, but I still thought, in my opinion, it was enough to win the fight to where I don't see how even the one judge got the decision towards Barrios.
Manny told me he thought he won 8-4, even if it's 7-5. But the draw was surprising. At least they didn't rob him. But
yeah.
Do you want to see a rematch? Do you see Mayweather? Do you want to see Rolly? I mean, Manny told me he likes the Rolly fight, I think.
I just want to see Manny. I want to see him in the ring. It doesn't matter who, because I know whoever he fights, it'll be an exciting fight. Obviously, the Floyd one will be big, and that, blow up the whole boxing world again. But I just think overall, I want to see Manny in the ring, and I think anybody who has signed a contract with Manny knows what they're going into, and isn't going to be one of those boring fights where they're running. It's going to be, combative, and they're going to be standing in the middle of the ring and fight. And I think, especially like what Manny was saying, he took 2 months for this fight. He has a little more. He's going to look even better. Regardless of the
4
win or
years
loss,
off, 46
exactly.
years
Regardless
old.
Of the win
He
or
looked
loss,
amazing. He
I was
didn't lose.
Proud of the way that he went out there. Yeah, he didn't lose.
It's a draw,
and he fought really well. It was clean. There was nothing. It was just clean. It was a clean fight. But kudos to Barrios for.
Word that a win would launch him into a rematch with Floyd. The financial allure is massive, with projections of over $1 billion in revenue. Now that Manny has completed the Barrios bout, fans are clamoring louder than ever for the rematch. With both fighters' histories and massive fan bases, the matchup promises to surpass even recent super fights in terms of global appeal and financial success.